Hi, you guys. Um, it's me again, Margaret. I just wanted to say hello. um, I'm sitting here at my sewing machine, spending time, quality time, with my sewing machine. But I wanted to show you something I'm trying to do, but I don't know if it's going to work because I don't know if I know how to do it. Excuse me. But if you look down here, kind of help me out a bit. I have this here piece of fabric that it's just a whole bunch of little tiny pieces all pieced together. And what I want to make is I want to make a little clutch kind of a thing. So it'll kind of look like this. But I want it to be able to hold like this, This is my secret book. This is my calendar. This is my little journal I'm working on. And also my checkbook. That's what I want to fit in here. And so what I want to do is build this. Now, but don't know what I'm doing. I just do not know what I'm doing. So I got this piece of no, it's not interfacing. It's called Quilter's Fusible Batting. It says layer quilt backing, batting sized up. Heat iron to wool setting, maximum steam. Lightly press quilt layers from the center to the outside edge, holding the iron in place for 3 to 4 seconds. Using a burst of steam. Repeat on back of quilt if needed. To reposition, reheat quilt layers with iron on wool setting, adjust layers and press. Allowed to cool. To fuse only one side of the quilt at a time. Do not use steam. Hand or machine quilt 4 to 6 inches apart. To remove fusible after quilting, rinse or launder in cool water. That makes about as much sense. That's as clear as mud. What do you mean to remove fusible after quilting? And layer quilt backing, batting side up. Heat iron to wool setting. Okay, I don't get that. And this is Taylor Low Loft Polyester Quilters Fusible Backing. It's confusable. That's what it is. It's confusable. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that. Hi, Papa. Why you coming here to look at me like that? So what I'm going to do is, no, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm conducting a video here. Is what I'm doing.
I'm going to go check the mail.
Okay, you do that.
And I'm going to go check the shed.
Okay, you do that. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm going to take this, and I don't know if just one side of this is fusible or if both sides is fusible. Now this side looks like it's got glue on it. So what if I put this on here like this? This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm put this on here like this. You see that? And then I'm going to, let me see. What if I just take it? Let's see. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. This is what you should do when you don't know what you're doing. Wait a second. Let me see. Let me get my arm. Get my arm here. Now what if I take this and I just a second. Hang on a minute. There. Okay, now. I rather than to move my ironing pad over here, I just went in the bathroom, got a bath towel. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this over the top of this. And then Don't know if this is right. I don't know how to do this. I'm just learning. So I am going to see if this fuses to this. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to try not to put the iron actually on the stuff right here, because I think it would stick. I think. So I think it would melt or something. And so this here is video is just for you all who know me. I don't know how to do nothing. For those of you who know me, I know nothing. I know nothing. Okay, so I'm just gonna iron this. Put that hot iron there. I'm getting that point just to the edge of that stuff, that fusible, whatever it is. Now, I was just told by my friend another item that maybe I have on my wish list now. What did she say? It was, I forget now what she called it. I wrote it on here. No, I didn't write it on there. I wrote it on here. No, I didn't write it on there. Oh, fusible 931 TD-10. Oh, good grief. But it's, I think, but it's thin stuff she had, but it was kind of stiff. Thin and stiff. And so, and so, see, because I want something that's thin and stiff to, see, when you don't know this stuff, and then you start, you know, I want this to be just a little bit stiff, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. But, let's see. I'm thinking this will work. I think this will work just fine. Let's see. It's some kind of batting. I'm putting in some kind of batting. Now, somebody told me also, man, you can just use an old towel for batting. But I want it to be a little bit stiffened, you know, just so it's not floppy. Okay. Oops, I dropped my, well, that almost glued to the towel. Okay. Now, so now what I need to do now is I'm going to cut this. But how much do I want to cut it? I want to cut it straight. That's what I want to do. I want to cut this end. I don't know what size it's going to be when I'm done. I'm just going to cut it till it's straight. Okay. See that? I'll throw that in my scrap bucket for dog bed stuffing. And then I'm going to get this straight and cut that straight right to here. I can make it that long. Just go along that line on the, I got it straight here and straight there. And so now we're going to get this straight. Now, okay. So my friend says just do it on the computer, do it on a video where I'll watch what you do and then I'll tell you the right way. Or she didn't really say that, but I know she can do that. She can do that for me. Okay, so now if I put this straight, get that edge straight right there, and then put this, and see I want a straight line down there, then I'm going to cut this straight like this, and then I'm going to put this, there we go, and now I'm going to cut this, I'll put that over there, and that means I can cut this now. I can cut this, put it right on that line. Yeah. And then I'll make sure I got it straight over here. Yeah, I got it straight. So I'm going to cut that to this line right here. Okay, so now what I have is I have a pretty good, let me see, it's 12 inches this way, and it's 8.5-ish, it's about 8.25 that way. But it looks like I got it all squared up. Let me see. Yes, that's about the size I want it to be. But now, you see it's now mashed flat right here. It's mashed flat right here. And I can almost see through it in the center here. That's where it goes hottest, the longest. And it kind of mashed it kind of flat. But these edges aren't really mashed flat. Well, let me see. Maybe I have to get my ironing, my fake ironing board back up here and go like this and get, now I can get on the edge because there's none of that fusible stuff sticking out. So what do you think so far? Let me see. Yep, let me see how this is working so far. And let me go on this edge here. And cute. Okay, now. Well, it still doesn't really look, it's not really stuck to that. Maybe it's stuck in the very middle. I don't know. It's not really stuck. So I don't know if it's supposed to stick or what it's supposed to do. Now what I want to do is I want to take, where did I get? I had a piece of fabric here. Oh, here it is. See, it doesn't match one tiniest bit. It doesn't match. But that's okay. I'm not looking for anything all matchy-watchy right now. I'm just playing to see what will happen if. So I'm going to take this. I want this to be the same size as this. I want this here. So I'm just going to eyeball this right here. Like that. And get that on there. That's good. That's good. We're doing good. And then I'm going to... Yeah. This is just to prove... What is it to prove? I ain't proving anything. Okay, I'm going to put my ruler right there so I can just cut this like this. Okay, now I'm going to take and go this way, and then I'll take this, lay that back on there. You see how I'm doing this so professionally? This is profession. This is my professional job right here, professional. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this, and this really is pretty paper. It's not paper, it's fabric, but it is pretty. You have to say, admit that. Okay, so now I'm gonna. Hopefully that's right. It's right as it's gonna get now. I'm going to. There we go. Now, let me fold this back up because I think I might make a bowl cozy out of this, or I might make a little bucket. I was making my buckets. I made 3 buckets yesterday. Buckets. 3 buckets. Fold this up. There we go, and put that out the way. Now, so now I have this thing that I have. And I have, okay, so I'm going to put these with the pretty sides together. Like this. That's what I'm going to do right there. Just put the pretty sides together. And then, See, these are the buckets I was making. These have my clips in them. I put my clips in this one. But I made that one. Well, I made three. I made three different ones. I made one on a video. So, and it's not fell apart. And so that's the main thing, is if it hasn't fallen apart, then I must have did something almost correctly. And so that's all I'm looking for now in my life, is just make something so it doesn't fall apart. I mean, a lot of you have been watching my quilt I'm making, and it might not be professional, but it isn't going to fall apart, that's for sure. So I'm just now, I have this batting stuff that I don't know where I got it or why I got it or any of those answers. I have none of those answers. And so now I have these two right sides together, the pretty sides together. All right, now, see, I was sitting here doing my quilt squares. I got a few of them that I've been doing right here. But then I just had to change positions. I had to change something for a second there. And so now what I'm going to, and do something different. I just wanted to do something different, and so this is different. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch this. Well, I'm going to stitch it around on this side. Okay. Oh, that's right. Somebody asked me about these enders and leaders and enders, leaders and finishers. Although I'm not going to use it now because I'm not going to use them now because I'm going to start this in this middle like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to stitch. I'm going to stitch this all the way around. Oops, wait a minute. Do I have this on zigzag? Oh, we got to fix that. We got to fix that. Okay, now. Oh, Lizzie. Now we see we pulled that thread right out the needle. Pulled that thread right out the needle. But that's okay, because I can shove it right back in there with that automatic needle threader. Okay, now. Yeah, I had somebody ask about those leaders and enders, starters and finishers. Some people call them spiders. Oh, I'll move this out of my way. Okay, there. And I'll show you in a minute. I think I will if I don't forget. So now I'm just going to pull these. I got it holding together with these clips just until I get up to the clip. Then I pull the clip off and throw it over there. Put it in a little basket. I changed my lighting around in here this morning because my lighting wasn't real good, and I got a feeling because my lamp was sitting on the table, but then I put it on the shelf that's above the table, and I think that might be working a little bit better for light as I look at it. Plus, it gives me more room on my table. This here machine, if I get it going too quickly, it bounces the table. And so I have to not go too quickly. I'm thinking about getting a 2x4 or something to go under the center of this table to make like another leg on it, to make it a little bit more stable. I need a stable table so it won't bounce like that. Okay, that's what I need to do. So I think that would be pretty darn good. Okay, so now here's where I'm going to leave a little opening here. and see what happens here. Okay, now I will clip this off of here. All right, now then, scoot myself. I've got a bench. I sit on a bench, and it's pretty cool because I can just scoot myself back and forth on the bench. From right here, I can sit here, then scoot over, and I'm in front of my sewing machine, and I can scoot all the way over and be in front of the iron. But I brought the iron over here just so because I don't think my camera knows how to look at me over there. So now I'm just cutting the corners off of here so that when, I think this is going to work. I'm going to cut the corners off of here, throw these corners into my shoebox over there, and I'm going to turn this whole thing. I use this knitting needle not only for a weapon when I go for a walk, but I also use it as a turning tool. But you got to be careful. You got to be careful when you do that you don't poke the end right through your project. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm just turning it inside out now. Outside in. Inside. I want the outside to be outside out. I want the inside in and the outside out. So I'm turning it to get the pretty sides out. And I'm wondering if this is going to fit through here, if it's too fat. Maybe I made my hole too little, but no, I'm going to make it work, even if my hole is too little, because I'll get it. I'll get it. Now, and it's working. Now, and then, yeah, it's coming through. See that? See that right there? That pain? Can you see that pain? Yeah, that, I don't have my Bengay in here. Yeah, my men. The men in my life lately is old Arthur and Ben. Arthur and Ben. Arthritis and Bengay. They're my men. Okay, now let me see. I'm just trying. I don't want to poke it too hard with my knitting needle. Let me see. Let me get this done with my finger. Now, I think this might be working. I think I might be getting a professional job done here. Get my corners to look like corners. Oh, that's good. That's a good corner. Don't want them round. I want them nice and pokey. That's good. And then this one. Okay, let's see how that's working now. And this one. Okay, so now what I want to do, get my ironing mat, bath towel, put that back up here. And put this up here, like this way. And then I want to get this, now I'm going to press it again, try and get it good and pressed. My German iron. It's German. It says right on there, made in Germany. So you have to speak German to it. I don't know any German. Gesundheit. There, I just spoke to my German iron. Okay, I have a German friend. I'll have to have her teach me some German words. And so let's see if I can get that nice and pressed. I'm not sure why I'm doing this. I'm just doing it because I see when I watch the professional quilters, they are ironing up a storm. So I watch them professionals. Okay, let me see now if I can Wait a minute, maybe I should use a pin here. And I'm going to pin this little hole where I just left it unstitched. I'm pinning that so that there's no holes in here. And then okay, now I want to, now see, it doesn't look straight because my piecing wasn't straight. And so it doesn't really look straight along the edges because my piecing wasn't straight, but my stitching is straight as far as I know. Now see, I just am trying to get that flattened out with where I put them pins there, and so that I can stitch that. So okay.
I made it back so you think.
Did you? Okay. Okay.
Didn't get attached or anything.
Oh, I'm glad, because you never know. You could go out the door and be run over by a herd of wild buffalo. And so it's a good thing that didn't happen. Okay, so now, there, I got that. So this is looking like something is happening, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I want to, okay, I'll go ahead and pull them pins out of there, put them on that magnet. Yeah, it's really not looking too swift. I think I got that like dipped in there too much or something. Something isn't evenly correct. Oh, yeah. Okay, something's not evenly correct. But you know, I am just so not into having everything to be perfect. I'm just not. Nothing has to be perfect in my life. Now let me see when I turn this up like this. See, it matches as far as the size. So, yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is this is what I'm going to do. When you don't have a clue what you're doing and you just got to make things up as you're going along, then anything is right. So what I'm doing here is absolutely correct. Believe that and I'll tell you nothing. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to I am going to, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it even if it's right, even if it's wrong. And I'm just top stitching this. I'm just top stitching it. No, please, 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 please. I always get scared when my machine makes funny noises. But my machine has been having a little habit of... No, it's going okay now. It's got a habit that the bobbin, sometimes I have to take the bobbin back out and put it back in because the thread goes in the wrong direction. And this sewing machine is sort of like me. It just does the best it can with what it's got. Okay, but it's stitching. Okay. And so I'm kind of just top stitching all around this thing. Just sort of. Yeah. Oh, why does it want to hang up there? Come on. Go on. Go on. There you go. Good sewing machine. Okay. Good job, Bertha. Now. Oh. Yeah, I gotta better check that bobbin. That noise makes me think that the bobbin. Okay. Let me check that bobbin. Clip these threads. Let me check that bobbin. Oh, for one thing, it's almost out of thread. Yeah, see? What happens is, you know, you put the bobbin in and you got to get that thread going through there and up through here. And then you have to go down there and snatch it up to get it coming up. And that didn't work. Okay. My machine gets embarrassed when it's on public TV, when it's making a public service announcement. There we go. Okay, now then. Now I got the bobbin correctly threaded. Okay. And then some people are talking about cleaning their machines. I got to take this top off here and get all that lint, because I got lint in there. I tend to forget to do that. Okay, so now this looks like a whole thing. And so, but I want it to be a little bit quilted, sort of. So what if I just put it on the zigzag like this, and then go like this and just sort of quilt it up a little bit. And stitch it down the middle just to quilt it a little bit. And then go this way. And then go down. Wait a minute, I gotta go down a couple more. The stitches that way. And then I'll go down this way. Fly me to the moon and let me swing upon the stars. Okay, so then we get that to there. And then I'll just go down here and clip off this little thread here. And okay, so now, and then I'll just make one more pass right on down here. And this is sort of like quilting it, wouldn't you say? Sort of like. See, even if you're not a professional quilter, you can do stuff like this. Okay, so now the next step of this journey. Okay, now I'm going to put this. This is going to go like this, and this is going to go like this. This is going to go like this, and then this is going to go like this. Wait a minute, where's my calendar? Let me see. Oh yeah, that's going to fit in there perfectly. So my calendar, see, somebody just sent me this calendar. And then this is my secrets book. My secret book. It's got all my secret codes in there. Yeah, and then this is a little journal I'm working on. But I'm going to put my check. Probably won't always leave my journal in there, but my checkbook I will. So I already top stitched that, but now I'm just going to stitch from here. Wait a minute. I'm not going to stitch it yet. I'm not going to stitch it yet. Because I need it to be this big. That's how big I need to have it. But I'm going to do something else first. See, I don't have that exactly. Wait a minute. Let me see if it works better this way. If it fits better. Actually, it does. It does fit better that way. So now what I'm going to do, there we go. So this is going to flap down like this. So, and then that'll fit in there. Well, this won't fit in there right now because I got the clips on there. But that's going to fit in there just good. Okay, so, but now what I want to do is I want to get I'm reaching up here. Oh. And I got my plastic snaps. Oh, there's my name. See that? That's me. I should put that up somewhere where I can see it all the time. No, it'd be in the way. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get my hole poker inner, and I'm going to get my snaps. This was a deal and a half, deal of a lifetime. Got that from Kathy Volante. Had a auction one time. She sold this whole thing. Got this whole thing. The machine, this thing, and all these snaps for $5. I'm telling you, that was a deal of a lifetime. So now what I want to do is I need to brighten this up. So what color should I... Look at all these colors I have to choose from. Do you know that makes it very hard? But do I want to put these blue ones in there? Or should I put some of these neon yellow ones? Yeah, we're going to put them neon yellow ones. Okay, so I'm going to need to have 1, 2, 4 of the pokey out parts. I need 4 of the pokey out parts. 4 of those. And then I'm going to need to have 2 females. I don't know why they call them females and males. Okay, and then I need 2 males. And so, I need my tweezers to pull these out of here. My fat fingers don't fit in there. Okay, let me see. Oh, let's see. Okay, and then this one and this one. Wait a minute, those are all the same. No, wait a second. Let me find the different ones. Oh, this one. I need this one like this, and one like this. Okay, now, let's see. Let's see if I got that right. See if I've got it right. I think I do, though. Because I'm pretty accurate. Well, not really, but I pretend. Okay, so then... Yes, okay, now. That is what I need. All right, now, put this back in this box. Now, I'm going to need to kind of measure, measure things. I measure things. Just a second. Let's see if we can get God, I gotta take this sweatshirt off. I was cold. Now I'm not cold. Take my sweatshirt back off. Oh. Okay, there, now we're all set. Now let's see if we can do some rocket science. I want them here and here. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to worry so much about measuring. I'm just going to do it. So I'm just going to eyeball it and put one here and one here. Okay, now wait a minute. Let me make sure I have this right. Are these going to snap together here? Yes, they are. Okay. Okay, so that's how them are going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch a hole. I'm going to go up here, and this is about 1 inch. And here I'm going in about 2 inches. And I'm just going to punch a hole in there, like I know what I'm doing. Okay, so there we go. Got that hole there. And I'm going to poke that pokey thing through that hole that I just punched. Okay. There we go. Now I want to put these 2 pieces. Okay. This is going to go on here. Yes. Then I take the tool and I'm going to, okay, let me hold that on there and put the tool there. Make sure it's in the right spot. And then make sure that's lined up, and then I'll squish it. Squish it. Okay. So there we go. That's in there. Okay. And I squished it. See, because there's a flat spot down here, a flat spot on this black thing, and this part is flat too, but it's got a little indentation where where it flattens out this little pokey part when you put that in there. Okay, so you got to make sure that the top of the snap always is in the black part of the tool. Okay, so now I'm going to hopefully get this one, I'm going to hopefully get this one lined up about the same way, about 1 inch up this way and about 2 inches this way. If I got a ruler, that would be better. But I've done things with a ruler before, and it sure didn't make anything turn out perfect. Okay, so I got that nice hole in there. Then I got to make sure that hole, my fabric doesn't move, because then the hole will disappear. And put that pokey thing, because it's like a thumbtack. So see, there, I got that pokey thing in there, and it's like a thumbtack. Then this piece has got like a little hole in it. Okay, you make sure you got the right side up there. And the back side looks like clock hands on it. That's the wrong side. If you don't see any clock hands on it, then you got the right side. Okay, now we're going to put that on there. And see, it's just going to sit there until I get this black part is going to, that black piece right there is going to go underneath the top of that snap. And then it's going to go underneath there and hold the top. Oopsie daisies. Get that in there. And there we go. Now, so that's holding that, and that's one. So I'm ready to smush. Ready to smush. Okay. It's smushed. Now they look pretty even in here. Oh no, this one looks a little bit farther south. But then my strips aren't straight either. So that's okay. So that's fine like that. So I got that top of the that is on there. Now, because I want these to match up goodly, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn that over like this. And then, let's see, where's okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to use I'm just going to go in here with my ink pen. Okay. Yeah, they're not even at all, but hey, it's mine. It's going to go in my purse. So I'm going to go right down here. See, right there. That's where I want the other side of that snap. And then I'm going to go right there. See, because I just marked that where those touched. So, and that's where they are. That's where they're going to be. Like it or lump it. Now, put that back in that little holder. Now we're going to put, now this part of the snap is going to go, oh, I got to put the hole in there. Okay, so this is why I didn't want to sew them edges yet, is because I want to put the hole in here. Okay, and put that hole in there very nicely like that, and then put the thumbtack looking piece in here. Put that in there. Put that thumbtack looking piece. Well, dang. Lizzie, do it, do it, do it. You can do it, you can do it. Don't give up. Don't start cursing. Now I gotta line up my hole again. See, you gotta hold that fabric, you know. Okay, so my hole stays lined up because it went through all those layers. So there it is. There it is. See? There. It just popped through there. It just popped through there. You can see that little bit of, ow! Oh! Oh yeah, okay. Then this piece, we want, see, it's flat on the back, the flat side. Where's my thing? Oh, see, it's flat here, and on here it's got like a little thingy. So we want to be able to see the little thingy. So we're going to push that on there, like this way, and then we're going to get these pliers again. And get that on there. Yep, it's on there. And then squish it. I have put these on before when I didn't have these lined up exactly right. And the whole thing just mashed up, and I had to pull it back off. And it is the dickens to pull that thing back off if you don't get it on right. Okay, so now, but everything that I've used these snaps on, they stay, you know, they're like gripper snaps. You know, the gripper snaps that we always used on baby clothes and stuff? Well, these work just as good as them gripper snaps. I used to use the gripper snaps like on, when I'd make a Western shirt, you know, on the pockets and all the way up and down the front. I'd use the gripper snaps, the metal ones. Well, these work just as good. Oh, I guess you'd still use the metal ones on a Western shirt. You probably wouldn't want to use these neoprenes or plastic or whatever they are on a Western shirt, because that would make it look tacky. I used to make them Western shirts years ago for the hubster at the time. But now I just want to play with the sewing machine. I don't just make stuff. I don't want to sew. I don't want instructions, as you can see from this. No instructions needed. Okay, there. Now, they're on there. And they look like they're nice. So I'm going to turn this over now like this. This is... Elizabeth Marie. Do you see that? Oh, no, there it goes. Oh, phew. I did it. I almost had a heart attack because I thought I did it wrong. But it's okay. It's all right. Look. See, because now this will snap. There. See, it snapped. Now, I could just hand stitch it. I wonder if I want to hand stitch that down the edges. Because if I top stitch it down the edges, it'll take away. So I think I'm just going to hand stitch it. I think that's what exactly, I think that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hand stitch it. I got me a needle up here on this. Now you don't have to watch this part of it. It's going to be boring, boring, boring. And so I'm just going to put that back up there on my magnet. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull some of this thread off of the sewing machine. And then I'm going, oh, you know what I could do is blanket stitch that. Well, I don't know, blind stitch it. I think I'll just do that blind stitching thing that I just call it a blind stitching, but I don't know if that's really, I could do a blanket stitch. No, Elizabeth, you can't see that. Put your glasses on. Okay. Now, put your glasses on. Okay, that helps. I wonder if I can thread this needle without my needle threader. Everybody be really, really quiet now. Let me think. Oh, I got it. I think I've got it. So I'm going to use a double strand of thread. I don't know why, it just all of a sudden got hot. See? When you don't know how to follow instructions, I'm going to leave that snapped there until I get at least the first couple of stitches in here. Oh, I'm just going to stitch it. How did I do that? That hurted me. That did hurt me. Okay, that's all right. I don't mind being hurt. Okay, let's get that in there. Ooh. Poking it through all them layers might be more than... Oh, wait a minute. Where's my thread puller thing? It's in this other thing, I think. There it is. Okay, put that in there. This thing's supposed to go on your finger somehow. But I got fat fingers so they don't go on. But it's a thread puller. But so I just kind of use it like a pot holder. And pull it. Now what did I do? Don't make a knot in there, Elizabeth. You're not going to be happy with yourself if you make a knot. Okay, now. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, now let's see. I got this long thread that's causing me a little stress. There we go. Now, and I'm just going to kind of go along here and act like I know what I'm doing. This is going to be sort of like a blanket stitch, I think. I think so. Just sort of like a blanket stitch. Because I just want to keep it right at the edge. And so I don't take up any space, because I need space for my belongings. And so, and I can put that in there with my 2021 calendar. Who sent me that calendar? Did I leave? Ruth Moshier. Yes. Thank you, Ruth. Sunshine Ruth. She sent me this year calendar, which I never did have one of these last year. And boy, I missed not having one. But I got one now for this year. So rather than to just have it floating around and losing it, I wanted to make it a little special little carrying case so that I have it with me all the time. And because I lose things, you know, because I don't like put things back in my purse and stuff. So this is going to be very handy to carry those things in. Someone else had made me a beautiful little carrying case that I put my like my debit card and so insurance cards and my ID and stuff in. They made it, and it's got two little pockets on it, and it's got dachshund fabric with little dachshunds on it, which I love because I love my little doxies, and so, but I forgot who sent it to me, and that thing I have been using, and she sent it to me. It's been a couple of years ago, and I've been using it ever since. I guess I could go through my old videos because I think I video almost all of my Happy Mail. And I could probably do that and find out who made it. And so to remind myself. Because then I think, who sent me that? And then I get all feeling bad because I can't remember who sent me stuff. And so now I'm doing better about writing little notes on things, on some things. Some things I can't write notes. But there's two people that in the last week or week and a half, 10 days, have sent me packages that had flannel fabrics in them that I'm using on the backs of my squares. And I've already used all that flannel fabric. So some of those kind of things I can't put a name to them to remember who sent them to me, but God knows who sent them to me. And so, why is this thread wanting to make bubbles? I don't want bubbles in my thread. There we go. And that was wonderful. I looked on Joann's. They got a coupon right now that you can order flannel fabric and it's 50% off. But I can't order them right now. I can't order that now because I just ordered a pair of scissors. I decided that because I just really got into cutting a lot of fabric lately, because I did have good scissors at one time, but they're not sharp anymore because I use them with paper and stuff, and you know, you're not supposed to do that. So I ordered a pair of scissors, and so since I ordered them, I'm not going to order, but I know the flannel will come on sale because they do that pretty regular. Is that all their flannel will be 50% off? They do that pretty regular, so. But that was a pretty good deal. But I looked, and I'm going to wait still until I find out if we're going to have a boy grandchild or a girl grandchild. Because I'm not going to make him or her a crazy quilt. I'm going to make him or her, though, I'm going to make him or her a rag quilt. But it's going to be made with beautiful baby fabrics. And so I got to wait till I know the gender. We have to know the gender so we can do it correctly. And see, I got that snapped already, and in that way I know I knew if I put the snaps on first, then when I did this part, it would be correct. And as far as what I call correct. And so that's why I did that. So my son was over yesterday. I said, did you think of names yet? Are you parking names around, throwing names around? He says, well, we do know that if it's a boy, it's going to be Odin Kai. I thought that's so cool. But that's what they were going to name little Aria. If she was a boy, she was going to be Odin Kai. And So, and then he couldn't exactly remember what Bianca had decided if it's going to be a girl, but it's going to be like their daughter is Aria, and if this is a girl too, then the name is going to be real similar to Aria, but start with the A and have 4 letters in it. But he couldn't remember exactly what it was, and so I know it'll be a beautiful name. It's funny when your memory is bad, but you can still. All my children, I knew, I did not know my children if they were going to be a boy or a girl until they were born. And so, but the other night I was thinking, because we have one boy, his name is, well, one boy, we have more than one boy, but my oldest son, his name is Skeeter, although he named himself, that's another long story, but if he was a girl, he would have been Barbara Ann. And that would have been from a song at the time in the late 60s, ba 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 Baran. That's what his name would have been if he was a she. And then my daughter Tommy Sue, if she first she was going to be Tina Marie if she was a girl. If she was a girl, which she is a girl. But then I changed my mind after she was born, and I named her Tommy Sue after a dear, darling friend, beautiful, oh my God, a friend of mine that I love so dearly. But if she was a boy, she would have been Russell Wayne, and I don't know where that name came from. And then Jennifer Lynn, oh, now I can't remember. Jennifer, oh, excuse me. Jennifer Lynn's name would have been Lawrence Allen if she was a boy, and that would have been named after both of her grandfathers. But she was a girl, so she was Jennifer Lynn. And I was going to call her Jenny, but that never stuck. Her name just stuck with Jennifer, and so she's always been Jennifer. And but I wanted to name her Jenny, but my mama did not want her. No, don't call her Jenny, because my grandmother's name was Jenny, my paternal grandmother, and my mother didn't really get along well with her mother-in-law, and so she did not want me to name her Jenny. And I thought, well, I'll just name her Jennifer, and then I'll call her Jenny, but it just didn't ever stick. And so, but now if she was a boy, she would have been Lawrence Allen. And then Billy Brewski, he was a boy, so he was named, he's still a boy, but so he was named after his father, so he was a junior. And but if he was a girl, his name would have been Kimberly Faith, which I love the name Kimberly Faith. And so then whenever my granddaughter was born, my daughter called me just like 2 days before Kimberly was born, and she says, "Can I have your old name you were going to give Billy?" And I says, "Absolutely." And so she named her daughter Kimberly Faith, and I love that name. And so it seems like we always, back in the day, we didn't know if we was going to have a boy or a girl, and so you had a name for each one, and then you had to wait till the little child hatched, the little wee one hatched. There we go. Now, I think that I am finished. I put my needle up on the magnet right there. Now, I think I'm finished. There's my pouch. This is my pouch. 2 snaps. Then I can put my calendar in there. Put my secret. It says secrets inside. I've got my passwords in there. So I always forget my passwords. I'm telling you, I forget them. And then right now I'm working on my 12 Days of Christmas journal, which today's the 4th day of Christmas. What is today? The 29th. 5, 2, 6, 7, 29. Today's the 5th day of Christmas. And so I'm writing in my book each day, or putting something in my book for each day. So that won't always stay in there, but my checkbook will. It's not in here right now. And so there it is. I like it. Just no pattern. No pattern. I just put it together. I like it a lot. And I probably should keep a pen in here too at all times. You know, what I could do is I could put like a little something that would even hold. But these little snaps, these little plastic snaps, they may not look like they would really hold up, but everything I have used these snaps on has held up just fine. They unsnap, snap, they're just perfect. And they're neoprene or plastic of some kind. And look at all the colors you can get. This, and I'm not sure where Kathy originally got this. I bought it from Kathy at her sale. And I've used a lot of snaps out of this already. But you can get all them different colors. And then you get this little pokey tool in there. And then you get this little clamp on there. And there you go. You can just put snaps galore. Snaps galore. And then it even comes with different these things so you can change it, because I guess you can get different sizes of snaps as well. And so that would be a pretty big snap right there. So I guess you could get different ones, but I don't know why I'd ever want anything different than just that size right there. And I just put my things in my little box there, and it lives up on that shelf. I'm going to stand up right now. But see there? Now, thanks for coming along for the ride. And we got this made. And I didn't have a pattern. I just kind of eyeballed the whole thing. And so you can just eyeball things and you can make stuff. Isn't that nice? I like that. And because I put that, whatever that batting that I put in there, it doesn't make it real thick. I think once I ironed it, that heat smashed it up somehow. And I don't know if there's a right or a wrong something I should have used, but that worked just fine. Okay, so now I am going to read out of, because this is just what I do. I read. But I'm going to read this one, You Are Stronger Than You Know. See there? I made that all by myself. Got proof now. And You Are Stronger Than You Know, Words of Hope and Encouragement for Someone Living with a Chronic Illness. This is an awesome book. It's an awesome book. I have been reading it for a couple years. I've been reading different things from this book for a couple years. And let's see. Let's find one that doesn't look like I've read it. Okay, here's just a little short one. I'm going to just read this little short one today. Okay? Just a little short one. Just a little short one, because my brain is short. Okay, never mind. Okay. All right. Friends and family are most important. During your most difficult moments and exciting triumphs, they stand beside you. Keep them with you always. They will make life's journey much more rich and rewarding, not to mention fun. That's true. Friends and family. And you know what? I have friends. I got a lot of friends. And they're all on the other side of that lens right there. Well, not all of them. I got a few of them that aren't right on that other side of that lens. But I'm happy to have all of you people as my friends and family, because so many of you, I feel like your family. That I've talked to you so much and I've spent so much time with you that I feel like your family. And so, yes, friends and family are most important during your most difficult moments and your exciting triumphs. They stand beside you. Keep them with you always. They will make life's journey much more rich and rewarding, not to mention fun. And I do have fun with life. I do have fun. And because I can do it with you or for you, or you just, it just makes it fun. It just makes it fun. Thank you for being my family. May God watch over you every step you take, every move you make. And I will see you healthy, happy, beautiful, and smiling at the next video. God bless. God bless. And make you a little pouch. Okay, then we could turn this off right here.